And now we'll talk about the frustration triad. And the frustration triad is 1, 4, and 7, and they have an entitlement to the ideal. Frustration type entitlement manifests as the core belief that they deserve to experience their ideal reality and they refuse to settle for less. They indirectly or directly create situations in which they get what they want by refusing to settle, compromise, or keep quiet about their dissatisfaction. And so if you have like, somebody could literally be a triple frustration type, the same way they can be a triple attachment type, and then you're going to have a very like pissy, frustrated, annoyed, particular, persnickety person. So the more frustration you have in your type, the more you're going to be like this. Um, and if the outer world doesn't bend to their will, they disavow it, judge it, discard it for something or someone more ideal. And again, this is where I think more classic entitlement comes in, because you can really see it, especially with like 4, for example, where it's like, I don't do that, thank you. And I mean, this backfires, obviously. I'm double frustration, so it backfires. I call this like the frustration triad, like the Goldilocks triad, because it's like nothing's ever quite right, and then when you get the thing that's right, somehow it blows up. And then because you're like, as a frustration type, you are literally wired to never be happy. You are wired to always find something wrong with it. You are wired to always be like greener pastures oriented. So ones are less obvious with this, in the sense that it doesn't manifest as like this sort of like, I deserve what I want. It comes across as more like self-righteous and like holy, and it's for everybody and it's the right thing to do. So it kind of shows up in different ways, but it's the same mechanism essentially. So 4s are image, me, myself, and my muse. They're heart types, which is self-significance. They're dramatized feeling types. So where 3 is sort of under feeling, where they can go into like competency, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna like wall out feelings, unless they hit like an absolute rock bottom, or like they have like their wound, their self-worth wound, like really activated. But 4s are like overly dramatic feeling types. So it's more like they chip a nail and it's like, oh my God, like these nail people, they just want to take me down because they are jealous of me, and like and yeah, and it can be anything can be melodramatic, where it's like the end of the world, but that's like sort of where they get juiced. So, and then 7s are fear types, but they're like the opposite of fear, because they're like moving away from fear, they're escaping fear. So they're I am a mouth and I must scream head types. La 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 la, like don't stop talking types usually, or they just have a lot to say. They're very opinionated. Can be like very, like they're positive types, so it's usually like fun or chaotic or funny, off the cuff, sort of like absurd often. But yeah, they're kind of like skippity thinking types. It's like all over the place, scattered, tending, trending. 1s are autonomy instinct types as gut types. It's the holy I am God. They don't say that I am God, but that's like how they kind of feel inside. And they're like, they're doing types, but they're perfectly doing types. Only they know how to do it right. Nobody else does it right but the one. But if you meet their standards, they'll be very grateful to you. The entitlement is equal to like feeling like, for especially for this triad, I feel like frustration overlaps with feeling like you deserve something. So where attachment types also feel entitled, it's like I showed up and so I get something back. Whereas frustration types just feel entitled. They just deserve it for existing because they're more like lofty, more individualistic. Again, even 1s who are like kind of operating from this sort of like, it's for the higher good, but it's not. It's coming from this like individualistic, here's the way I believe that reality should operate way of thinking. 4s deserve their ideal via self-appointed exceptionalism, separation, and refusal to compromise their self, their vision, or their fantasy. Regardless of whether they've like earned it, use a six frame, or the outer world reflects it to them in any meaningful way, where it's like, you are exceptional. You are you deserve this. It doesn't matter because fours are just wired to feel that way. Even though four is like a very creative type, that like a lot of them don't end up becoming famous because they're like just constantly backing themselves into corners by refusing to compromise, be a team player. They blow up shit, they start fights with people. Fours are melodramatic. They're image types. They're over feeling types. Therefore, they are a drama. I'm not talking like a drama student, like a fucking theater kid. I mean, like they're literally bringing the drama to the moment, and they feel like they are deserving of their fantasy, and they don't care if you don't agree with them, and they will try to cultivate that. Even if their life is very small, they will try to cultivate this fantasy for themselves. They also like feed off not getting what they want. So again, with the frustration piece for all of them, it's like they feed off not having the ideal. It's the searching for the ideal that creates the like kind of ego trap for them. So even if they have the ideal, it won't be the ideal. Oh, it's a disappointment. Sevens deserve their ideal via disregarding others, um, and limitations generally, like lock-picking access in their quest for the juiciest options and the grandest experiences. Rules don't apply to sevens. So, because it's like, why would it, right? Like, this is a game, and I don't see why I have to operate within it. So again, there's like this exceptionalism, idealism that happens with sevens as well, where they are fearful of limitations, but it's their orientation towards that fear, where they're kind of like orientated to constantly creating escape hatches moment to moment. So it's like you kind of can't lock a seven into anything because they'll find a slippery, they'll find a loophole, they'll find a way into the back door. They are possibility orientated, which means that they are constantly autopilot generating different ideas. And so but that fucks them over too, because they're constantly fixated on the juicy thing, the next juicy thing. If this teat becomes like stale and dusty, it doesn't matter because they've already lined up a juicy teat over there, and that they're just going to leave that. Oh, we can make this dusty teat work. The seven's not going to be bothered with that. The seven's going to be like, you know what? I love that for you, but not for me. I found a reservoir of milk over here. Bye. Okay. Have a good day. Ones deserve their ideal via inflicting rules, standards, perfectionism, holy standards, perfectionism, quality, ethics, integrity onto others. They impose it on their environment. So, like, especially if they have self-pres, it'll be like in their home, it'll be on their family, their loved ones, their coworkers, wherever they work. Just others, it's like they're imposing their metric for like how you should behave in society. Uh, you're Because they're sort of like orientated towards finding perfection and this like ultimate way of being and existing in the world, which can get confused a lot with six stuff with this because they're both super ego types as well and like another set of triads. But ones is kind of more this lofty. It's not like this consensus orientated thing where it's like we're all on the same page, we can all benefit from this. It's like the ones just know, no, 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 this is how things should be, and you didn't do that. They might get like drill sergeanty with you, or like they're more like disciplinarian orientated, or like kind of telling you what to do, and listing out like sort of things that you need to do to improve, or they'll just do it themselves too, and then give you like a sort of disappointed look or whatever. But they're still like inflicting a sense of entitlement onto you, because it's like, if you're going to be around me, I'm going to impose my standards onto you. And if you aren't living up to those standards, you're going to feel my like ire on some level. You're going to feel my judgment. Fours feel entitled to be treated as if they're the most precious, unique, and special little monster to ever walk the earth. They sacrificed belonging, fitting in, which is like really code word for mediocrity. It's not about being special in the like we're all special. Everybody's special. And like I'm special too. It's not like that. It's like the special fucking exception. I'm not like you and I will never be like you and I don't operate on your rules and like I will impose my rules, my sort of like rules for reality which are centered all around me by not bending to you at all. They sacrificed feeling understood, liked, or happy at the altar of being significant, original, and meaningful. So a lot of types, like sixes and nines again, that like often relate to four descriptions where like I feel misunderstood. It's like fours want to be misunderstood because if you understand them, then they're worthless. Like fours get off on not being understood. And I'm not talking about like nine vague maxing. It's very emotionally charged and dramatic and like creating this sort of story about themselves that like I'm just too deep and like people can't understand me. So they will not be treated like a lowly little plebeian piglet, or you will feel the sting of a white gloved slap to your face. Four-wing three is more like white glove slap, especially if they have like one or seven fix. There can be like an extra sting to that, like, how dare you? But if they're a four-wing five, then it's more gonna be like a strange, stanky glove. It's gonna be like covered in grime. They might even like slap your face and then lick the finger after. So sevens feel entitled to live deliciously and deliriously. They sacrificed calm, consistency, stability, and the rewards of commitment and discipline at the altar of novelty, fun, innovation, and zero responsibilities, burdens, or boredoms. They either get what they want or what they want wasn't so juicy after all. So again, it's like kind of like they can discard stuff. It's like, oh, oh, all you're offering is a dusty teat? No thanks. Sorry. Bye. Um, but what they're giving up, and so yeah, again, like seven is a type that I think sometimes a lot of nines think they're sevens. But it's like sevens aren't as concerned with like calm or consistency or stability or like kind of like the rewards that come with like building relationships and creating like a network or like these kind of connections. Like, not to say that sevens don't have like long-term friends and relationships that matter to them, but it's just like not as high of a priority as it is to nines. Like, sevens will choose chaos mode, sevens will choose the fun thing. They'll blow off people to go chase the more exciting thing, whereas nines can blow off people because they just like didn't really want to go and then felt like, but I don't want to deal with it. I want to have to tell them. And if you have seven and nine in your type, you're probably doing a little bit of both. Um, yeah, and so sevens won't waste any time moving on to the grand next adventure or scheme because yawn. Why would they? It's like diminishing returns. As frustration types, they can get fixated in a frustration cycle, but it usually is centered around escaping or like possibilities or hope where it's like this next thing and then I do this and this is going to solve all the problems and then it doesn't and then they find the next thing. Fours and sevens hate tedium. I mean, most people hate tedium, but like they really, really hate tedium to the point where they'll blow up their lives. So ones feel entitled to orderly, polite perfection that abides by their standards and regulations. They sacrificed satiating base impulses and the joys of being a messy bitch at the altar of integrity, perfection, and pretending to be God. And nine wing ones can have this God complex too, I've noticed, but and threes do too. But with one, it's like it's very much like this is what's right. This is how we behave. And there's like this kind of suppressed rage. It's not like nine suppressed rage where it kind of like bubbles up as resentment, where it's kind of being sit on for a while. It's like ones are like kind of containing the rage. So you'll live up to these standards or feel the holy fire of criticism, penetrative frown line frequency ray guns, and ruler slaps, spankings if you're nasty, or maybe if they're like a sexual one and they've made it their kink. And their entitlement is showing up with like the way the world should exist. It's kind of like a very should, I think, oriented type. Like not like I should do this. It's more like you should be like this. I should be like this because this is what's perfect.
this is how we're supposed to be. The right thing, and this is what the world needs. I'm going to put it into order. It is the correct thing. People can't think for themselves. I'm going to take over and I'm going to do it for them because I'm the daddy.